Hi, viewers. I think we're back now. Sorry, I had to restart the whole damn thing, really. Sorry for that. We're back. Muchas gracias as usual. Thank you. Thank you for those who wait or for those who are going to come back. Let's get straight to it. As you can see, what says in the thumbnail is what says in the thumbnail. It's because it's true. They start to feel it. They started feeling the aftermath of their actions and the things that they've done toward Africans. And I'm not happy about it, but I said it was going to happen. If you think I'm lying, go back to my channel. You find videos of me talking about the consequences of what this is going to bring to South Africans. This is just the early stages now. It's still very early, but it's so significant to the point now that the national news is picking it up, that the effect of what all these xenophobic attacks is really caused. And I've spoken to a lot of South Africans. Really, I've literally spoken to South Africans to get their perspective. And like I said, the ones that were extremely quiet when this whole stupid thing was going on, those who were quiet, they are just complicit to it because they kept quiet. They didn't want to see anything. They didn't want to rattle any further. But what they don't really understand is that it's opened up a different kind of Pandora box now that it's not going to be closed. I said it. I said, you guys are going to do something that you won't be able to take back. And guess what? Oh, it's happening already. Because as I'm speaking to you right now, a lot of people don't want no South Africans. They're not going to deal with your shenanigans no more. They're not going to take it. They're not going to listen to it. It's not going to fly. And this is from your own doing. You did this. So let me show you from I think one of the ministers really gave a feedback to, just watch. DJ, listen to her.
A total of 53,449 foreign nationals have been processed for either deportation and repatriation, which is dominated by the following. Malawans are actually at the point of 80%, followed by the Zimbabweans and Mozambicans. Repatriations to countries beyond SADC amounts to 2,615 and include the returns to Kenya with a total of 431, Nigerians 1,159, Republic of Congo 86, Uganda 939. So those were done through air in terms of arranging for their air travel by their country of origin.
So that is the list of all the Africans that have been removed. And I hope this is going to create new jobs for South Africans. I hope this is going to... It did create jobs, but there was a significant, things that is happening right now. It's not about the jobs that it creates. I'll show you. It's quite really interesting. I'm not here to gloat or mock or anything like that, but listen.
About over 25,000 people have fled South Africa since that 30th June deadline was announced. I mean, the authorities have also said that this is an unofficial deadline. It is not authorized. The state does not recognize it, but people have decided to take, matters into their own hands.
Exactly. I was listening to a poet whose name is Nziki Matsvai. Yeah. That's her name. And she said that when South Africans were fighting for democracy, they did fight for democracy, but they never fought for ownership. So what are these people fighting for? Are they fighting for ownership of the industry, or are they fighting for the job that is being taken by the immigrants, which is a spaza shop, which is a...
So, and that is the crux of where this whole situation is. South Africans are fighting for jobs because you need to earn a living. You need to provide for yourself and your family. But this is why I said the ones who are the smarter ones, they're complicit to this, because I don't understand why majority of you don't come out for you to tell them not to behave like this, not to do the things that they've done already. Why all of you quiet about it? Why? Because you keeping quiet is that you open up a door, you open up a situation whereby the consequences of the things that is going to happen from that, you won't be able to change it. You're thinking about a job. You're not thinking about owning the business. You don't own the business. but you care much about the job. Now, at times come now that the same immigrants you complain, you whinge, you whine about, those immigrants are now gone. Then what is happening with your job? What is it? Oh, I'll show you. I'll show you something. It's quite really interesting what's going on now.
Kiosk, what are they really fighting for?
There are a lot of compounding factors there, and I think that conversation takes us back to how complex the South African systemic structure is right now.
So this is what is going on now in South Africa. Basically, almost every places you can go in South Africa now, this is what you're going to get. And watch yourself. So it's not like I'm not making the video. This is not AI. This is someone recording this going on in South Africa now. Just have a look.
Absolute chaos. Unbelievable. I can't believe I'm witnessing something like this. What a shame. This beautiful country is absolutely fucked. Look at the fucking pandemonium. I mean, it's absolutely...
That's what is happening now in South Africa. They're literally busting into malls, taking away all the businesses. They've literally created an avalanche now of this behavior. The only thing I'm going to say is that if you're other Africans over there, don't behave like them. Okay? Don't destroy your community just because you want to retaliate based on what South Africans have done. But I'm really happy because I am one of the few guys on TikTok. I'm not really situated on Facebook quite a lot. Neither on Instagram either. But I've talked here on TikTok, on YouTube, Twitch and Kick, and I've said the same thing. I said, just you wait. You wait. You're going to open up a Pandora box that you won't be able to close. And I'm very happy that I was right. But unfortunately, for those businesses, people who've invested their livelihood, you think to run a business, you think it's just open up a shop? We're talking about, do you know, many of them understand the concept of profit and loss? Do you know sometimes some months you need to take losses so that you can balance the book? Some month you need to actually borrow more money so you can balance the book. So when you make profit, then you can pay off the debts that you owe. Then you can pay your workers. This is not about making profit. It's about keeping the business running. But no, what South Africans do is that they will literally just look at this. Look at this. All right? Let me go back again. Watch this again one more time. But this is what they've returned to. And these are the guys that like to insult Nigerians especially. Call Nigerians, Nigerians, and they just speak. What about this?
Absolute chaos. Unbelievable. I can't believe I'm witnessing something like this. What a shame. This beautiful country is absolutely fucked. Look at the fucking pandemonium. I mean, it's absolutely...
And like I said the other week, I said, if you are a so-called educated one and you're completely quiet about it, you're complicit to this situation. You are complicit. Because you're choosing to be quiet and over and over and over and over. There's a continuous effort why it's a justification on the reason why you need to remove the illegal immigrants, because the illegal immigrants are the one taking your jobs. Okay? And that's the classic case with Africa on its own. It's never been about us owning our shit so we can provide the jobs for our sons and our daughters. No, we want a job. We don't want to create a job. Or if you cannot create a job, you don't even know how to acquire the skills to maintain the job that you get. You cannot create a job, but you cannot maintain a job at the same time. You can't make it up. You literally cannot make it up. You cannot maintain a job, but at the same time, you cannot keep a job. And it's so amazing that it needs to take you to not just hatred on another African. There's white, Chinese, Indians, Pakistanians, Jewish people, Every culture you can think about is there in South Africa, but there's one that you can literally pick up your stones and your whatever you want to call it to attack them. So you get out of my country. Yeah, let get immigrant. Get out of my country. I hope you get out of your country. Now this is good. What you're watching right there is that they're literally walking into the business district in Johannesburg and the CBD, and they're literally terrorizing the shop owners. Now, many of them will have to put all the goods into the store because once it comes start raiding again, they will take all the businesses. Even sometimes, they will actually unalive some of the business owners, and it will be justified because you're in our country. Okay. That's the feedback that you're going to get. You're in our country. Yeah. But just this is the reason why some people say Africans are nothing more than animals. Because we behave like we're not civilized. And a rage of a black man is that it takes away empathy. It takes away conscious reasoning. It takes away everything. You just act on impulse because you're raged. You're mad. That is why it's so easy for them to colonize us. There is no critical thinking at the most appropriate time. We don't have it. That time that your emotion is all over the place, for you to actually close your eyes and critically think about your actions, the things you're going to do, what are the ramifications? For you to act, plan, think accordingly. Nah. An emotional man is a raged man. A man that really doesn't know how to process or control his emotion. It's not that you shouldn't have emotion. You can have feelings. Everyone has feelings and emotion. But your actions when you're emotional, it's usually not very good. Is it that you say things that you're not supposed to say, or you do things that you're not supposed to do? Because you is justified because how you feel at that very moment, it supersedes everything else. That is your justification and that is your excuse. But the person that you're acting that on, you could care less what they think about. But this is what you're seeing right there. They literally go into businesses, threatening them. Huh?
Why are you running away? Why are you running away? Why are you guys running away?
These are people that are making honest living. open up a store so they can sell some little, everyday appliances that you need at home. These are the guys that they really rush into. But I'll show you another video once this one is done of a minister. If I tell you the kind of amount of money that this woman stole a neglection of our responsibilities and our duty with another police minister or whatever it is. It's quite really interesting. But these are the people that these dumb idiots in South Africa, these are the people that they're taking their aggression on. Because these are the job that you're looking for. This is why we will continue to get thumped, colonized physically, mentally, psychologically, just name it. This is why it's gonna always continue, because a fucking enraged black man cannot open his mind and think. There is no critical thinking when they're mad. They just act on impulse.
And the temperature angazi.
Do you know what is even more funny is that the South Africans are now looking to actually start and have their own business. And I think they don't want that kind of competition because they don't understand the trade. Any idiot can have $5 billion in his wallet. But if you have the money, but you don't even know what to do with the money, you're just going to use it to buy and do stupid things that is not going to increase your portfolio. That's what usually happens. It's just like anything in this life. It requires skills. Speaking requires skills. Able to concentrate on the camera requires skills. It takes time. There's an effort. There's going to be a lot of trials and error. If you have someone to guide you and show you and tell, okay, this is what you need to do. You need to do this and that. That's what mentorship is for. But no, for them, it's not about actually acquiring the necessary skills for them to be able to maintain or for them to even start and run a business. What are the things that really goes into it? No. They don't want that. They just want a finished product. They can just go there, use this stupid xenophobic reasoning to justify why they need to go and crash out people's business and scare them off their land. So well done, South Africa. Well done. Keep doing it. Now, this is great. This is so good.
Why bebalega? Why bebalega? So sama phepha wekho.
The most irritating part of it is that all the clothes that they're wearing, this is made by a foreigner. All of the garments. Because I've not seen anyone wearing any kind of South African native outfit. Everything they're wearing was probably made in China or made in one Southeast Asia country. That you gotta understand, like the level of stupidity that you see with some people, it's fucking alarming. And this is why I said those who are so-called intelligent ones, the educated ones, you are all responsible for this shit going on. You are fucking responsible. Because they're just sheep. They need a shepherd to guide them. It's fucking so funny, man. I swear.
Kuningi okurongi la. Kumele sikhulu. Hayi ngiyacela.
I'm not trying to bore you with too much, but I just want to show you so you can see the ramification of this now. Joburg, everybody knows Johannesburg. It's probably one of the capital of the country, but this is what you see now. People trade every day. They can't even trade anymore, even though they're legal, because they're scared now they're gonna get ransacked. All right, and that's what's gonna keep happening. And like I said, you want your country, okay? You got your country back. I'm waiting for arts revenue or whatever you two. You're part of the problem, bro. You're fucking part of the problem. You have one of the loudest mic that you can on social media. But I'm yet to see one fucking particular video that addresses for you to talk to your South African brothers and sisters, for them to stop behaving like goats and sheeps. Let me just be quiet.
Nibalekelani. Yey. Hey, Mo. Who's closing this door? Can we come out? Can we come out?
Why is closing the door? There's people here, but you're closing the doors. What's wrong?
These fucking criminals, they're literally going around terrorizing everyone. This is what you get now in Johannesburg. I'm telling you. You see, South Africa is going to trigger a civil war in Africa. You'll see. Just don't forget I said this. If anybody get to see this video, remember I said this a couple of weeks ago. They're literally going to trigger a civil war in Africa with this behavior. They will. The ramification of this for South Africans, I don't think they really get it. This is going to go on for years. I can say probably between 20 to 30 years. For South Africans to rebuild the relationship that they've broken with the entire continent, I'm telling you, sometime it might take a lifetime. But well done. Well done. A country. Take it back.
Which one is open? This one or that one? Come that side. Yeah, tell this also secret to open. There's people here. There's people who came to buy your making them inside. Why?
Why are you closing? Open.
This is going to create opportunity whereby people will literally start hunting down businesses. They're going to put scouts in the street now for them to start surveilling the entire business to see exactly who have the best merchandise and goods, for them to later come back and create an attack and attack those businesses. That is what this is going to be. This is just surveillance, and it's a broadly like surveillance that they're doing right now. And this will be justified because it's their country. That country. South Africans, I'm telling you, you guys have done a great job. You know, when Trump does this, you guys have done a fantastic job. You finally let Africa really see what you truly, truly think about them. So well done. Great job.
Pittsburgh CBD.
I just told you, that is exactly what it's for. They're going to survey the store that they see that has good merchandise. Then they'll go back and raid the place. And this is why white people will call Africans or black people, they call them donkeys, monkeys. They call us every name because our behavior, the things that we do, it's not like they don't do it too. Because a couple of weeks ago, there was a whole rage in Ireland when the hooligans were just bumping into people's houses, putting the foot on the door. destroying all the cars, destroying it, burning tire and everything is the same behavior. And I know that will be your excuse. That's your justification. Because, you know, we feel like the illegal immigrants. Oh, I have more videos. Watch.
A troubling trend is unfolding in parts of Johannesburg. Groups of protesters are going door to door searching for people they suspect are foreign nationals. In some cases, those targeted are being forced out of their homes and handed over to the police. The scenes have shocked many across Africa and raise a difficult question. When did immigration enforcement become something civilians take into their own hands instead of leaving it to the state? For many migrants, the fear is growing. People who say they are living legally in South Africa worry they could still be caught up in these operations. Many say they no longer feel safe in their communities and that a simple knock on the door can now trigger anxiety and fear.
And that's the thing. Like I said, well done, South Africa. Well done. You are. I just realized that they're the last descendants of the most idiot group of generation that Africa has ever had. Because every other African country, they're looking how they can actually improve and go forward. But fortunately, this is what we get from the South Africans that we see today. Because these guys are still living in a stone age. Literally, they are living in the stone age. So well done, South Africans. Well done. Well done.
South Africa, they're doing that, and we're gonna come back again and take their job if they're still doing that.
Yeah.
People like deliver, they don't deliver the orders. They're eating too much the orders and whatever. You guys are gonna remember the foreigners. The foreigners was bringing to my order every time on time, and he was making fast with my order. Okay, I don't want. I'm not gonna order anymore. I'm going to buy myself from the restaurant because you drivers. Like on Uber Eats, if you want Uber Eats, like you go to deliver to the person, when you arrive at the...
And it's the same thing is gonna go. It's not just gonna be based on Uber Eats or any kind of fast-paced services. It's gonna go across the board. All right, the services that you're getting for a fraction of what you need to be paying for, that's gonna be gone. What's that gonna create? Now you have to pay premium for you to get the same services again. And I wonder where you're going to get it from because, number one, some of the feedback that I've got so far is that a lot of South Africans are extremely fucking lazy. They don't want to work. They don't even want to get a job. But they want to live like kings and queens because for some stupid reason, they've read it in a book or one stupid idiot from a bush told them that they're the descendants of kings and queens. So that's why they don't need to work. The whole world needs to come to their feet and worship them like they're some fucking unicorn.
Guys, we are here in Epping Market. Those Kosa people, they were saying, those black darky of South Africa, they're saying Makahambe. Look how the market is now. The market is empty. No one can buy. All the foreigners they're buying, they go home. So you South African come and buy here. You South African come and buy now. You say most foreigner Makahambe. You South African come and buy. Yes.
You see what I'm talking about? This is gonna have a trickle down effect, and I'm so very happy that this is happening. This is very good because you asked for this. Don't worry, this is just the case. Because the thing is that why this is significant. You might think like, this is not going anywhere. No, it will. Because the thing is that I'm going to give it another 2-3 more weeks. Okay. There's going to be another start rumbling. Okay? There's going to be another. This, what I've just triggered this is something that is going to destroy that country from within. Because where the aggression really needs to go in the first place, it's not where it actually went to. Because you crashing out on the so-called illegal immigrants. I get it. But the people that you put in a position of power, the leadership themselves, they are nothing but crooks and criminals. I have a lot of proof to show you.
A warning from a South African to a refugee. A crowd is coming, and they're hunting for foreigners. The warning is heeded. The shop is closed just in time. As the small mob approaches.
It's a small crowd, but an intimidating one. They've got a very astute sense of the establishments that might be foreign owned. And then when they do see one, they go speak to the neighbors or the people near a place and tell them that you must warn them, you must tell the foreigners to leave. So there is this real door-to-door campaign happening here in Soweto, but also in areas across South Africa and across Johannesburg.
They're on a mission, drawing in neighbors and bystanders here in Soweto, but not without resistance.
Until the other group of
Peter Manete is an activist working to protect migrants in his community.
They've already taken decision that they will close the shops. It's hard to really 100% control everything, but at least when we are here, we know that they can't just do as they wish, because they know that we are against what is happening.
Thousands have been marching across South Africa, rallying against illegal immigration and calling for African nationals, undocumented and documented, to leave. With harassment and extrajudicial violence on the rise. People of all ages are joining these regular neighborhood protests to keep the foreigners on notice.
When will you stop? When will you say my job is done?
When all of them are gone. Not 80% gone. When all of them are gone, then I'll say my job is done. Or unless, if I say the job is done is when I'm dead. That's when I say I'm done.
I want you to look at that. This guy said he wants to die. That's when his job is going to be done. This guy has zero understanding that the person who you should put your frustration on, it actually it drives the most expensive cars in South Africa. They live in the most exclusive location in South Africa. The people who don't even have up to what you have, they are the ones you're crashing out on. And it's justified because you want to die for your country. This is the classic example why Africa was colonized. Because all they have to do is that they just need to erase our feelings, our emotion pretty quickly. Then we just descend on each other. Then it was easy for them to come and start giving us the policies and their laws. And it's justified because you're Mobutu, Mombata, you're one donkey of a thinking sort of a man that you don't think. So if 80-90% of the illegal immigrants and legal immigrants, you see, that's the most funniest thing. What about the white South Africans, the Indians, the Syrians, the Egyptians? Why is that the only people that you see that always get attacked constantly are the black ones? Why? What about, I know people who are from England, from France, Norway, Sweden. Aren't they illegal immigrants too? Are they foreigners too? I dare you to go and attack a white South African if you're not going to get your hand and your neck handed to you. I dare you. This sort of situation really make me truly understand why colonization went long in Africa. This is a prime example why. Because the whole fucking continent don't have leadership. It's been our greatest Achilles heel. Africa as a continent, we fucking lack good leadership. We don't have one. Not from embezzling. Not from they want to sit on that fucking throne like the fucking place belongs to them. This is what we have to deal with every day. This is a prime example why Africa lack leadership. Zero leadership. Zero structural changes. Zero proper law. that to obliterate all this nonsense that we see yet in 2026. Because we don't have leadership. It is our fucking greatest Achilles in this world. Zero leadership. Because the politicians, ladies and gentlemen, they are the reflection of me and you. Every politician nowadays, they're not fucking unicorn. They bleed just like you and I bleed. They take a shit just like you and I take a shit. They don't do anything different that you and I don't do. But once you get elevated into a status of place of power and authority, now you are the discretion of everyone, because you can choose to do whatever the fuck you want to do and nobody will be able to check you. Nobody will be able to check you because it's justified. I'm the boss. I'm the leader. A leader that all they do is just fucking embezzle shit. They just steal and steal and steal and steal. They collaborate with the same people who oppressed the ancestors. They collaborate with them so that they can live the best lives. And there's zero consequences that comes to them. Because how can you hold a so-and-so called politician accountable when the law and the system that is going to hold you accountable is the same law and the system that is other places, whereby they've created all kind of stupid loopholes in the same law that will always find a way to let them get away with it. It's the same thing. There is no accountability when it comes to leadership. It's never been one. This is why a man like this can invest in time, threatening the people that live just a couple of meters away from me does. And this man has never one day invested in his time to sit down. How can I create a better future for myself? Who are the people that is responsible to create a better future for me and my family, or for myself and for my family? A man like this will never think about it, but he can go down in the street and threaten both legal and illegal immigrants in Africa only if they're black. And it will be justified. Because this man, I don't care what you say, he doesn't have the balls to go and say this in front of a white South African. It doesn't. This is why Africa was colonized. All they have to do is just sprinkle some bias, some religious, some tribalism bullshit into us. Then we start descending on each other. We're so easily manipulated. It's fucking laughable. We're talking about a country that over 75% of the land in South Africa does not belong to South Africans. Let me say it again. Over 75% of the land in South Africa does not belong to South Africans. Yet, you're crashing on immigrants because they take your jobs. Interesting. Super interesting.
Unless if I say the job is done is when I'm dead. That's when I say I'm done.
Their marches ended and the coast is now clear. The shop warned to close is back in business.
For now, I don't want to go back to Ethiopia because there's still war in Ethiopia.
What made you come to South Africa? Why did you choose South Africa?
Because there's peace in South Africa. That's why I choose South Africa.
That should tell you exactly the fucking problem with the entire continent. Right there. That is the fucking problem. The statement this man just made is the classic case of the problem that the entire continent has. No peace. Zero peace anywhere in Africa. Why? This is why I said we don't have no leadership. Zero leadership. An Ethiopian man, people don't know. There is war going on in Ethiopia for very, I think it's over 11 years or 12 years now. You would not see it in the news. And this war is not some, if it's involved America now, the whole world will know. That is another kind of stupid concept that I'm trying to put my head right. I just don't get it. If it's above America, the whole world will know. But the whole world can crash out and kill each other every day. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody cares. Nobody knows. What's the statement this man just made right now? This is the antithesis of what the problem in that fucking continent is. Peace. Zero peace. How can we get peace? It's when we decide to trade, respect, love, acquire, do things for ourselves. But no. So it brings it to this question that why is that for continents that is not legally colonized don't have peace? Peace. Because we don't have fucking leadership. Zero leadership. Including every administration in Africa today. Including Burkina Faso themselves. That I always praise about. No good leadership. I want to pose something to you, and I want you to think about it critically. All right. Most places where you go in this world today, you hear like there's a two opposition parties and whatever it is. I get it, but ask yourself: if I think left and I think right, left, my ideology is best for the people. Right, my ideology is best for the people. Okay. So we are here for the people.